Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome to Talking Upstream. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll do this. I'll do it this week. Hi, Talking Upstream.
I was waiting for you to applaud or something for some reason. Okay, great.
Everybody give Zach a hand.
Not just me, us.
All right, I got this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. Hi, everyone. My name is Dylan. This is Zach. We are Some Nobodies. We are a media creation group.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Content creators.
Content creators out of Colorado, and this is Talking Upstream.
Yep.
Hosted by IBM TV. Talking Upstream is a 90-minute writer's room in which Zach and I, each week, bring one idea to the table each. We discuss which idea we like more, and then we spend the next roughly 85 minutes developing that idea into something that hopefully we can pitch or create ourselves.
Yeah. The thing that we really want to show people is our process in taking a stupid idea that I come up with, probably a good idea that Dylan comes up with, and then working that down into something that could be a pitchable idea. The reason we call the show Talking Upstream is because what we're trying to do is talk ourselves up to a streaming service, such as a Hulu, a Netflix, a Disney Plus, or Dylan's weekly favorite.
What do you got this time?
Well, I saw that you were watching on True TV.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They have their own thing.
Yeah.
So I guess
Paramount Plus just got announced.
Paramount Plus.
Yeah. Now you can watch all your favorite Paramount things like Rugrats in Paris.
Rugrats in New York.
Were they?
No.
Anyway.
I don't know what Paramount thinks.
So normally what we like to do at the beginning of each show is, across the span of the week from the previous episode, I will take a scene that we've discussed from our idea that won last week, and I will write out a short 5-7 minute script, kind of showing what can be brought about from this sort of discussion.
Yep.
Now, last week we discussed the idea of a crime syndicate, an organized crime family that forcibly swaps people's bodies so they can commit crimes for them with the perfect alibi. And across the course of the week, we both became so enamored with this idea. We're not going to read a script for you because at some point we might have a surprise for you regarding that. And we don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, this kind of took off between Dylan and myself. We really liked the world that we came up with. We really liked the story that we started, so much so that we decided to really put a lot more time and effort of our week into this project alone. So we didn't want to spoil anything because hopefully within the next two or three weeks, we can show you something very, very cool that we made off of last week's, which we ended up naming Give Me Back.
Stars isn't going to know what hit him.
Do they ever, really?
No.
Do they ever? So yeah, last week, if you remember, we did, like Dylan said, Give Me Back was the winner. We're not going to read a script this week because, for a couple reasons, but one, it's going to be something pretty cool. But to move on, for this week, we actually, we have a couple new ideas. Yeah. The one that lost, obviously, if you remember, was the one we decided to, was roast weddings, which I think we were going to try to tackle some sort of reality show or something.
Yeah, it was some sort of like semi-fictional reality show or something.
And that was mine.
Yeah.
What did you come up with this week?
So I went back to the fantasy well, because it's been a little while since I wrote in that genre. A kind of, not workplace comedy, but poachers of mythical animals versus the Department of Wildlife Control for like a magical kingdom.
Oh.
So like unicorn smugglers versus magical game wardens.
Yeah, like poachers, but for
like dragons, unicorns,
stuff.
manticores.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So you said unicorn smuggling, so I like that. Let's just stick with that. So unicorn smuggling.
I don't have anything planned for that either, but I figure it kind of writes itself.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question about this though. Do you see this being? You said office setting. Were you thinking more like office style sitcom, or were you thinking more like almost gritty, dark, true TV style?
I was thinking tonally closer to Parks and Rec.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool.
Where it's a little tongue in cheek, and you can touch on sort of that sort of environment. But it is set in a world where people can interact with unicorns, and there are elves and dwarves and magic and that sort of nonsense.
I like that.
Yeah.
Usually I think Mark would be on here to kind of help us out decide.
Yeah, I don't know quite what to do right now.
But yeah, usually we will have a guest, and the guest will help us decide. It's just easier for us if we don't need to decide that part. But because we don't have a guest this week, and Suzanne's not here, we're going to... I'm going to go ahead and pick.
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
And I am feeling arrogant.
Sure.
So I'm going to pick roast weddings.
Recognize and exercise your power.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Roast weddings.
Okay, let's do it.
My pick from last week. So we're going to save unicorn smuggling for next week and see how that goes.
Yeah.
I do like that idea. I think I'm starting to get a couple ideas about that, but let's just go up with this. So, roast weddings. Now, normally what we would do is we have a basic premise, and what seems to work for us is the next thing we do is try to find out what sort of medium is the best for this to go down.
Yeah.
Whether it's a comic book or a podcast, which is the ones that we're most familiar with. If you don't know, we actually do a whole bunch of podcasts. Yay, Suzanne's home. One of the podcasts we do actually just finished up season 1. It's called The Podcast, a podcast show. You can find that everywhere if you search very, very hard.
Yes.
I suggest searching for Some Nobodies first. But the medium for this, I think because we're doing more of a reality show, or because I guess it was a pitch as like a reality, I think we want to stick to like a reality setting.
This is set in the modern contemporary world.
Yeah, exactly. I think right now, as most reality shows are set. So let's just kind of go with that theme. So we're going to do this as a reality show.
Your YouTube video feed is looking a little jank. I'm just letting you know.
What's that?
Your YouTube video feed's looking a little low qual right now.
My YouTube video?
Up here from the camera.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Just saying. Anyway.
Huh.
Yeah, it looks fine on StreamYard.
Yeah. We apologize if you watch this on YouTube.
Any technical difficulties, we are probably not at fault.
Literally, text me. I'll send you the parts that you missed. Okay, so the reason I brought this up, because last week I did mention that Dylan and I are both ordained ministers. We can marry people.
You don't need to quote it. We are literally ordained to perform weddings in all 50 states.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm not sure why I'm quoting. It feels right to quote it for some reason, but yeah, we are ordained ministers. We can marry people. I have done a couple weddings that turned into roast weddings. The first one was meant to be. The second one was not, but that's what it turned into.
Yeah.
And we thought because we do a lot of podcasts that if none of them really work out, this could be something we fall back on. So I think that's going to be the main basis for what we're doing.
So let me ask you a few questions just to get the ball rolling, Zach.
I love questions.
Okay. What did you envision with this? On any sort of broad level? When you brought the idea, I think this was going to look like, or what kind of format were you thinking?
I thought initially as like a webisode, like a web series.
Sure.
But I would see it as like a weekly sitcom-y, similar to The Office, which is what you said for that. But I like that idea of almost every once in a while panning to a single frame of I guess it's us. I mean, it should just be us, right? But yeah, very, very tongue-in-cheek and very happenstance. We fell into this trying to make real content, and that's it. Yeah.
A little bit of not quite mockumentary style, but something along those lines.
Yeah, I totally. Yeah.
Very, very much homegrown appearance.
That's
a little bit of shaky cam, maybe some talking heads.
Sure. Cool. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that could be really fun.
Yeah.
So, starting off, are we playing ourselves, or are these going to be like fictional counterparts to us?
No, I think we should play ourselves.
Okay.
I think that's funnier.
Okay.
To me.
We're doing the Ricky Gervais thing?
Sure.
Wait, no, that's not what he did.
I mean, he's probably done that.
He's probably done that.
I mean, not in The Office, but he's done it in other things.
But when people watch the credits to one of the episodes, they're going to be like, hey, the names are the same.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, wait, is this them?
Wait, is this them?
Are they really loser podcasters?
Yeah.
Turned mediocre ministers?
More than they know. All right.
We are.
So MC1 and 2, I suppose that's us. Are we using our names?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we have good names.
Yeah.
Okay, you can change your name if you want to.
Yeah. I want to be Maximus Decimus Meridius.
I don't know how to write that.
Don't you dare.
All right, so main.
I've been fighting that my entire life.
Yeah, it's gonna be me. I'm Zach.
Yeah, and you just put me down for...
I'm only doing 1 and 2 based on height. That's it.
That's
Nothing else.
2 is... Wait, 2 is, like, larger, right?
It's not taller than 1. Look how tall 1 is.
You wrote it taller. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you straighten 2 out, it's taller. I'm just hunched over
It's
all the time.
longer, maybe.
I'm just hunched over all the time.
Nah, it's your fault.
Anyway.
All right, so we have our two main characters. That's us.
Okay.
That's
I want to put this out on the table, especially for anybody at home.
We're arrogant.
Well, I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm talking
Oh.
about the dangers sometimes of writing fictionalized versions of yourself.
Yeah, good.
It can both be the easiest thing to do and the hardest thing to do because A, you are writing from your own literal first-person experience. It is the easiest first-person narration you're ever going to do as far as portraying your thought process and what you're going through. It is also the hardest thing to do because stories thrive on conflict, and conflict of the best sort comes from within the characters. And if you are the characters, you might be drawing from your own internal conflict, which some people can have a really hard time addressing,
Yeah.
and some people can have an even harder time putting up on screen or down on the page. So,
Yes.
I like the idea that we're playing fictionalized versions of ourselves.
I mean, a very good point. A good example of what he's talking about is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Cameron Crowe wrote this based on his experiences at his high school, and
he also did the same with Almost Famous, didn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
But the only thing that
Yes.
happened with Fast Times was that his characters, a couple of his characters, sued him.
Yeah.
He betrayed character for joke's sake. He would take some attributes of a character, give them to different characters just to make a character look a certain way, and then those characters, which turned into fictionalized based on real people, sued him and were upset.
And you also have the issue that the fiction can sometimes impact your real life relationships, which you just went over. Like, if we're the only two people we're fictionalizing in this,
Yeah.
that's fine. We can make up whoever we want. If we are basing characters on people we know, we need to be careful about the portrayal
Yeah.
and be tasteful.
Yeah, because if people that do know us would watch something that we do based on ourselves, see a character in there and go, wait, is that me? And all of a sudden they think that you're making fun of them based on something that you just find funny.
Yeah.
That may or may not have to do with them.
Yeah.
So when you're doing fictional stories, especially based on yourself, be very careful about that. If you want to, just keep that in mind.
Yeah. If you don't care about your relationships, just burn all those bridges. You don't need to go back over those rivers.
No. And as you're probably going to see, I'm burned a couple. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, so the story is loosely based on us, and it revolves around. I like the idea of using as much real life stuff as possible.
Yeah.
So we do run a bunch of podcasts.
We do.
How
That
many
is
we
not
at?
a joke.
Do you know how many we're at?
Are we doing the tongue-in-cheek thing, or are we doing sincere?
What's sincere?
Like 145?
Yeah,
Yeah.
145. I thought it was going to be like a 600 number. That's why I
Yeah,
went real.
realistic increments.
Yeah. So yeah, we do a lot of podcasts. And none of them have made us famous yet. So we think
As
it's
far
funny
as I know,
that.
let me double check.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Hold for a second.
Your search did not match any documents, so no, we are not famous.
Yeah, we're not famous, not yet. So, what we're going to do is we're going to make a fictionalized story about how our podcast are just not doing well,
Yeah.
and we need to make some money quickly. I think that's pretty
Yeah.
funny. And our fallback is, well, we are ordained.
People are
ministers.
still getting married.
Dude.
Like, no matter how bad things are, people are still going to be getting married, and
Yeah.
you still need someone legally to officiate.
Yeah, people want to get married.
And we do happen to live in a spot where people are quirky, sometimes to a fault.
That's true.
So roast weddings, we might have actually a pretty broad untapped market that we can kind of draw for this.
Yeah, so I'm into that. I think that it is achievable to do that. And
So what type of length were you imagining for this? Are you thinking like, I know you said series, you said web series. Are you thinking like 20-minute, half-hour episodes? How many episodes are we doing? Like,
yeah. So if you go to our website, somenobodies.com, you will see that we actually do offer roast weddings on our website, which we will do. The package that it comes with is a 30-minute. And I feel like that's a good amount of time for us to do a bit of a stand-up, a bit of a chit-chat. So if we were to base a show around that, I think if we do a half-an-hour show, I think that's good.
Okay.
Because then it kind of is the lead up to that, cutting out some of the jokes, and then... too.
I'd say either half hour or do the fake TV show length of 44.
Yeah.
Because that gives us...
I was thinking 22.
Yeah, 22. I think half an hour is probably a good medium between the two of them.
Yeah, I agree.
That gives us time at the wedding and around the wedding. Because
Right.
it seems like, logically, each episode would focus on a particular wedding we had been hired to ordain, right?
Yes.
That scans?
Yeah, I think that's an easy way to...
Yeah. With maybe the first episode being like a double-length one where it's like, it starts off with us being like, you know, this podcasting venture just isn't picking up.
Yeah.
IBM TV is not getting us the viewers we... No.
What's...
HAL TV isn't giving us the viewers.
HAL TV. Yeah, so I do like the 30-minute thing.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to say that each one's that. I do like the idea of the first one being a double episode.
Mark has some pretty good ideas, actually. Hi, Mark. I'm reading your comments. He says, "What about a fictionalized version of your ancestors? Then, what if you were as big as Joe Rogan? Or what if you're doing roast weddings for like B or C actress? Or roast weddings for failed politicians? These are all great, actually.
Yeah, I love all that.
That's great because if this is a series, we do need an idea for what the wedding is in each episode.
Yeah.
Do we want to? I know it's out of order, but write
Sure.
just down like politician wedding, and then actor wedding. Could do a wedding for a very successful podcaster.
Yeah.
That could be the series finale where we have to confront our own failures.
How about a TikToker? It might be very, very fast weddings.
They're very clear that they need 20 to 40 second bits that can be very easily. Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
So I feel like it's probably a good thing. So character-wise, we have ourselves.
Yeah, that's us. I'm Zach. I'm Zach.
I know.
Okay.
Oh, hi. Okay, we already started.
I thought we were doing attendance or something.
Just because we didn't do the script, I don't think we have that much time for these bits.
you told me to fly.
I know. All right. So, yeah, I'm cool. Do we want? So, if we are presenting ourselves as fictionalized versions of failed podcasters, does that assume that we are going to be fictionalizing the rest of the nobodies?
I think that's funny.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think so too. We can give them names to start a little.
Yeah.
Just until we know that they're cool with us.
Yeah, like Harrison.
And
Matt.
And Drawn.
Drew. Oh, wait.
Drawn and
Who's that?
Drew.
Oh.
But
Drawn?
I don't know.
Ha-
I don't know.
Is it on Tron?
John.
Oh, John. I don't know Jones.
Anyway.
When we come to it. So
do we want to make this? So this is starting to remind me of Party Down.
Yes.
Was that HBO or Showtime?
I think it was Showtime.
Where I think we can turn this into kind of not a workplace comedy, but it's like, guys, in order to fund our podcasting things, we need to, if you're willing to help us do these weddings,
Yeah.
you work them, we'll work. So then
Absolutely.
then the talent has to deal with like serving the food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And ushering.
So we have to get Kayla to come and serve the food. And then the crew.
She's constantly like, I can sing, right? And then we're like,
Shut up.
the couple provides their own music.
Crew.
Oh, man.
Alright, so I'll say that let's look at this as though it's a season.
Yeah.
So season 1, right?
Yeah.
Let's we'll do the timeline of season
Sure.
1. Just to get that going on.
Either season 1 or if this becomes like a limited series or something. We'll plan for one season now and see what happens.
Yeah. So when's wedding season?
Generally, from my understanding, it's from like late April to early October. This year's a little weird, not only because of the price manga I've endured, but also because apparently, interestingly enough, my birthday, October 10, 2020, is one of the most popular wedding dates of the past 50 years.
10 and 20.
10, 10, 20.
Cool.
Yeah. Like, I have multiple people I know getting married on that day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nobody's going to come to my party.
I'm not going to be there.
No, you're not.
I'm not getting married, though.
Don't go to Michigan.
Oh,
I'll be in Michigan on my
I
birthday.
was just saying I wasn't invited.
Oh,
And
I'm
it's
not having
pretty soon.
I'm not having a party.
Seems like you're having a party.
No, my sister's throwing me a party.
So you're definitely having a party.
I'm not having it. She's having it, and I'll be there.
You'll be there, and it's for you. You're having a party.
I don't think.
And I wasn't invited.
I think it's how it works.
I think me and your sister are Facebook friends too.
Are you? Not you.
Kind of.
Your publicity account.
my fake account. All right.
So
let's
April
say
through October,
yeah.
April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So 7 months. I'm just trying to figure out the time span chronologically inside the episode.
Well, all right. Let's just say it's an 8-episode series.
Okay.
Right. Let's do that. So we're gonna do 8 episodes.
That's one episode kind of covering the prologue and one per month, so we can have like holiday wedding or a seasonal wedding or something like that.
One which can be like a double episode
Yeah.
length can be our decision making.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. So let's just say that we're gonna do April to October. That's our timeline for the whole.
Yeah. I think it's good.
I think that's fine.
And
Because technically our podcast actually started in April.
that's true.
So it would be a year after our.
And we've kind of wrapped almost by the time October rolls around, almost 3 shows because of Lovecraft Country.
True.
In that span, jeez.
Oof.
Look at us go.
We're doing a good job.
Look at us go. Netflix, look at us go.
Quibi. We could
Anyway.
pop out 10 minutes easy. Okay, say April, October,
Yeah.
that's no big deal. Okay, so the first episode is our decision making.
Yeah.
So that's where it starts, right?
That's us sitting down and being like, hey, I don't know if this is really tenable for now. We need to find a way to make some actual money doing this. Everybody's getting really tired of not being paid.
Yeah, and I guess like maybe by that time we had one wedding and we're like, the only thing that's making us money is this roast wedding things.
Yeah.
So we kind of hop into that. Do you think we should maybe show a couple other failed podcasts?
I think the first episode, do you know what word I'm going to bring up? For portraying a large amount of content over a long span of time in a short amount of screen time.
Montage, probably.
I say, well, yeah, it shows us recording, and it shows us releasing stuff, and we might have some flashes on screen of people reacting to it, and unlike reality, where everything is positive reactions. Some of the ones
We are 5-star rated everywhere.
some of the ones in here, it's more like, I think we avoid. How farcical do we want this to go? Because we can either go, everything is met with this like lukewarm, non-enthusiastic response, or we can go pure comedy where they're just like, these people don't know what they're doing.
I think it should be more responsive that my inner self will allow the second one to happen.
Yeah.
I like to think that stuff is funny, and I can't see any world where people just say to my face, "You just don't have it."
Well, right, but in the universe of this
Oh,
series,
it would.
did we embark on this venture because people met us with a lukewarm reaction, or because they thought we were they were very negative about us?
What do you think's funnier?
Are we going broadly comedic?
Well, we are comedic.
I say a more negative action.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So people just do not like what we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. And then we're like, you know what? If they're gonna roast us in our reviews,
Yeah. Ding. Then the light bulb.
yeah. I was thinking microwave. Like it's done.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why you bring a microwave with you everywhere.
Yeah.
So this is the light bulb.
Hey, if you had a
moment.
portable microwave, you'd bring it too.
So the light bulb moment's like pretty quickly.
Yeah. In the first episode, I'd
First
say.
episode, yeah.
And then, what if it was just like, oh, no, what if it was, we're both ordained and wedding ministers make a good amount of money. Why don't we just run weddings? And we run like a standard kind of conventional wedding.
Yeah.
And because neither of us are particularly religious, it doesn't go well. Mm-hmm. And so partway through, or like on the second wedding we do, we kind of decide to throw caution to the wind. And we're just like, I mean, we were asked to marry these two who clearly don't like each other.
Oh, okay. So we tried to do a straight.
We tried to do a straight wedding at first, and then we realized that we're actually pretty good at roasting people during the wedding.
Okay. Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
So those two are still in the first episode.
I think so.
So the first episode is half of it is podcast, montage.
Lukewarm reception.
A lot of us looking at social media, not liking what we see. And then
we get the idea. Maybe we see.
Do we make a commercial?
I don't think at the start. I think we see like either.
Well, so after the first wedding, which is still April, right?
Yeah, or we can do a little bit beforehand and have the first episode be from like March to April. You know what I mean? Fluff a little bit.
So
What if we see either a podcast about weddings or some sort of like report on weddings being a moneymaker? What if we have a friend who gets married and they're like, yeah, I mean, the minister's fee alone was like $600, and we're both just kind of like...
So we'll have a fictional main character.
Yeah. A side character.
Maybe it's our fake co-host.
Yeah.
And they get married.
They leave the podcast. They
quit the podcast.
They quit the podcast,
Yep.
and action from the audience is negative because they were the only thing giving us any sort of...
They were a pseudo celebrity. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I like that. So
Mark, just so you know, I'm writing all of these ideas down so we can add them in at the appropriate time. I love them.
All right, so we have main character 3, which is a fictional co-host that was the star of the show.
Ooh, misspelled feud.
That's okay. Nobody can see your mistakes.
That's something you should remember in real life. Don't you do this to me.
No, you're lucky. Okay, so now main character 3. What's our main character's name?
The third?
Yeah,
Hypothetical third?
Yeah.
Steven.
Steven?
Steven Cheeseman.
Zack, Dylan, and Steven?
Yeah.
Steven Cheeseman?
He was a roommate of mine I lived with in Denver.
Oh,
and when
great.
I moved out, he unfriended me on Facebook.
Oh, cool.
I'm like, yeah, you're a real cool guy.
Alright, so Mr. Steven Cheeseman. Is that a celebrity? Is that a celebrity name?
In this universe.
Really?
Cheeseman Park is like a park down in Denver, so there's a local Cheeseman who was at least had a park named after them.
Alright.
I haven't done any research, but Cheeseman is an actual last name that people know in this
I know it's a
area.
real last name. I'm just saying, is that like a celebrity last name? I mean, think of celebrities.
Yeah.
You got your...
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Exactly. Next.
Andre 3000.
Okay. See, his name could have been Cheeseman. That's why he changed it.
Andre Cheeseman.
You know what? Scratch that.
Outcast would never be the same.
I'm 3,000 now. Okay, so we have our
Yeah.
I
I think this first episode is us discovering... Don't worry about it.
Not funny.
Not funny wedding.
And then we have a second, pretty close, is us like just not giving a crap. How would we say that?
I mean,
Like,
caution to the wind.
Fed up. Caution to the
Yeah,
wind?
we. I don't know how to phrase it, but something along those lines. Yeah.
Wait, do you think that it'd be funny if the first wedding we are trying to make a podcast,
Like
and that's why we're there?
like we take our record. Oh, like we attend a wedding and record it.
No, like we are the
are
officiants.
yeah.
The officiants, but we're trying to do like a podcast based on just weddings. And then maybe like in the second one our stuff breaks and it's like
We could.
And so
Yeah.
I feel like we would need a reason to just be like, we're gonna roast you guys at your wedding.
Oh, that's fair.
So we would need like a bit of a push for that, I think.
Yeah. All right.
But I do like this setup so far because like say that if the person quits because they get married, then it's like a cyclical storyline.
We are asked to ordain Steven's wedding, and we're like, hey, like, do you mind if we record this? Like, and he goes, I mean, I guess not. It's a little weird, but I'm not in the game anymore.
So he quits to get married.
Yeah. Everybody knows you're not allowed to podcast when you're married.
Yeah, true that. And so is he the first wedding?
I think so.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's the first not funny wedding.
I think it's I think he's the first not funny wedding, and he goes, "Hey man, hey guys, we appreciate you doing this, but that was like dull.
Yeah,
you guys really need to let your characters out a little bit.
And
I've heard you guys record,
and then we put that out as a podcast, and then me like, you guys are nothing without Steven Cheeseman. Don't try it. quit, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And that's what makes us do this
Yeah.
next one. Because maybe we forget our equipment or something breaks because we can't record it. And that's where we're like, you know what? Who cares?
Yeah.
And we go at it.
Cool.
Do you like stuff breaking, or do you like a choice, or is that not important?
The thing about stuff breaking, I like the idea of us eventually in universe turning this into a podcast.
Well, but the thing is, like, if our stuff is breaking, then that could be like a visual way of saying, like, we're done with podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's not bad.
That'd be a push for us to, like, hey, we
Yeah.
quit this.
Sure. Yeah. No, that works for me.
All right, so
And that first episode ends
with this wedding.
Yeah, and it being successful.
Yeah. People are coming up to us at the wedding party.
Yeah. Like, hey, man, that was great. We didn't know what to expect, but
Hey, what are you guys' names? And they don't know us from anything, obviously.
we give them a card, and it has, like, podcasters crossed out, and it says roast weddings in, like, scribbled pen.
Oh, I love
and that's
that.
the last shot.
Yep.
Fades into the end credits.
So this is where the equipment breaks. In between those two.
Cool.
So we get bad reviews.
As if.
I know, right? It's gonna be hard to like pretend to not be funny. For me.
I do that all the time.
I know, you're such a good actor. Okay. What's next?
I think next we plan out kind of where the show goes.
Well, it's 3 o'clock. Do you want
Yeah.
to do a quick shout out?
Hi, everyone. For those of you who are just tuning in, my name is Dylan and this is Zach. We are Some Nobodies out of Colorado. We are a media production group. And this is Talking UpStream, which is a 90-minute writer's room in which we use this whiteboard and our own ideas and creativity to develop effectively a single-sentence idea into a pitchable show, movie, podcast, graphic novel, commemorative coasters, whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Monthly coin,
Monthly coins,
socks, literally anything.
fake magazine covers in a window, in a frame.
Real magazine covers in a fake frame.
All right, we're losing track right here.
Yeah, that's not good.
We should go back to doing scripts at the start. We are
True.
unguided.
So-
Continue, Zach.
So the one we chose today is roast weddings, which is we're turning this roughly into a reality style show where Dylan and I are unsuccessful podcasters and decide to fall back on what we actually do in real life, which is do roast weddings.
Yeah.
We're caught up in pretty much episode 1. We figure all that out. We want to kind of keep it to roughly an 8 episode season 1 or cap that season out. Who really knows?
An 8-episode span to start.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think I think episode 2 is when we introduce the rest of the crew.
Yeah, do you want to kind of come up with some more ideas for weddings? Oh, wait, you said for the crew?
For the crew.
Okay.
So that way we know which characters we're working with.
Sure.
So I say that from episode 2 onward, it becomes us trying to expand this out into a wedding gig service.
Okay.
Where we provide...
Like DJs and stuff, too?
We have musical people in our group.
Yeah.
We could do that. I think it's a little funnier if it's just like, we will... I don't know.
We'll book the gigs.
We'll quarterback your wedding. We'll coordinate. We become wedding planners.
Sure.
Kind of.
So, this is where episode 2 is going to start.
Yeah.
And this is our business transition.
I think so. So what should the first... I think every episode, every episode should have a themed wedding associated with it. So this will be the first one that we do. Maybe at the start of this one we get hired to do it, and then we realize we have to bring more people in.
Yep. Okay. So we get hired for a couple gigs.
Yeah.
And that's why we need more people.
Yeah.
So, for multiple... And what do you think is something... I guess it would be like a hipster wedding would be one of the first ones that we most likely get picked up. Because they would see us on Yelp.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, hey, let's do this.
We bought Facebook marketing advertisements.
Sure.
Yeah.
That seems like something we would do. All right, so we're going to go. The first one is the hipster wedding.
At a brewery.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Is it a brewery or is it a dispensary? Because that'd be kind of cool, too.
It would be. I'm wondering about the logistics of having a wedding in a building that is federally
True.
blacked out.
All right, but instead of having food trucks, they have.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They have, yeah.
Joint rollers.
Yeah. Or little cups with them in there. Please take one.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, what do you think is another? What would be the second group of people that would want a roast wedding?
So, these are what Mark has suggested so far.
Hit me with them.
Local politician.
Yeah.
Actor and actor getting married.
Okay.
Podcaster. A
Sure.
successful podcaster. TikTok influencer or Instagram influencer.
Yeah.
A local athlete or some sort of athlete. Denver Nuggets or something.
Okay. Is that hockey?
No, they're basketball.
Nuggets?
Yeah. They have the little cross pickaxes that always make me think of World of Warcraft dwarves.
Oh, yeah.
And then the rest are just ideas. We're a wedding where we roast too mean. We're
Yeah,
too mean,
I
and
can see
they don't do the walk or something. We get into a feud with a critic,
Cool.
maybe at their wedding,
I like that.
and at one point we become so involved in the roast that we forget the actual process. Like
go way over
we
it.
start roasting, we go over time, and then we're
Yeah.
like, wait, what part of the wedding are we in? It's not the
People are
part.
leaving.
People are going to the bar. It's not the part where we ask if anyone has an objection.
Heckled, yeah.
Yeah, we start getting heckled I think that's the second episode. I think we
Yeah.
get heckled in the second one.
Yeah, I like that. So
I
I think in episode 2 we'll probably do two weddings again.
Okay.
I think that's cool.
It could just be it could just be two basic, like one hipster wedding, one traditional wedding. We
Yeah.
don't have to go too high concept for this first one.
Yeah.
But I think we bring in like 2 or 3 other people to be our crew, just like as a minor, this is just like to help us carry our equipment, like our mics and stuff, and they're able to usher that sort of thing.
So, you think in episode 2, after the success of just the one, we transition to a business where we have
I think
servers.
so.
I like that, yeah. So,
But it's specifically Some Nobodies marriage
Yeah.
wedding company or something.
what's a good name for weddings? Just services. Some Nobodies.
Matrimony.
Matrimony.
I don't know.
I might write that down. I don't know if I like that, but matrimony. Okay, so we're doing full wedding services.
I think so.
I like that.
I'm pulling pretty heavily from Party Down, I'm going to admit.
No, I like that a lot. I think that's kind of what I had in mind when I
Okay.
first thought about that.
But obviously the venue will have their own staff as well.
Yeah.
Most of unless we do weddings at venues where we provide the staff.
No, I think that's funnier.
Yeah.
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 Like, we try to take on the whole thing, and that way, like, our staff can be like in the audience and they're like laughing at our jokes when it's not really that funny.
All right, Harrison, you are in the 5th row back, 3rd in on the bride's side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make a joke about how it took her 4 hours to get her hair done and then they had to redo it. And I need you to wait 1 second and then laugh really loud.
You got it. Like, is it a snort laugh or like a real, like a deep laugh?
Snort first and then lead into like a chuckle.
Should I go into like a choke at the end? Like I can't catch my breath, or like really just play
No,
it
you're
off?
warming them up. You're
Okay,
warming them
cool.
up for when Zach delivers the actual
Cool.
setup.
Okay, I can do this.
You need to calm down.
This is exciting. This is a wedding. I can do this.
You couldn't cut your hair?
No,
You're right. I'm sorry.
I just got headshots done. He probably did.
You probably did.
All right, so then we're gonna say what we need. What like a staff of 4?
I think so. And I think we should think about where this season is going to end.
I think an obvious ending is one of our podcasts actually takes off,
Yeah.
and that would give us.
What if the wedding business gets big enough we meet someone who actually has a stake in the industry? And they're like, hey man, we listened to your stuff. It's pretty, like your new stuff's really good. It's different than your old stuff, but that's fine. I mean, change is good.
Yeah. What if Cheeseman comes back?
To join back up with
Like,
us?
say he gets divorced or something.
It depends. Do we want the story to be that we are nothing without him and then he comes back and we're successful?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what if every season he quits in the beginning to get married, and then he comes back at the end.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's funny. Okay. So we're on episode 2. We have an ending, right? Which is... Well, which one do you think out of all that?
I like the idea that Cheeseman leaves and comes back at the beginning and end of every season.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, so Cheeseman comes back. Okay.
Now,
so he comes back.
So is the arc that we are most concerned with our professional stuff with the weddings, or is it more like... Or is the primary thrust of the show simply that we are doing these? Are we continuing the podcast stuff on the side?
I'm going to say that we're...
Or are we trying to get enough money to get better equipment and get back into it?
I think that maybe because... Okay, so if our stuff does break, then this would be a big push to get money.
Yeah.
And then if we say somewhere around like episode 4 or 5, obviously, in the middle, say, hey, we actually kind of like doing this.
Yeah, okay.
Like, we're starting to get into this.
Right.
Cheeseman comes back, and he brings equipment back.
We meet, like, we get, like, a very, very heartfelt thank you from, like, the parents of the bride or something, and they're like, this was the funniest wedding we've ever been to. We could tell that our daughter, whatever her name was, you know, she loved it. It looked like everybody was having a great time. You guys are both obviously very good at, like, we get confirmation from an outside source that what we're doing is at least being appreciated. And that kind of is the catalyst for us being like, maybe we can actually do this.
So, confirmation that we're good.
Yeah. Yes.
This, yeah.
And then, when's the bottom point before that? Is there a point where we are like, or afterwards? Because there needs to be a dark spot. Yeah. I think where we question whether what we're doing is right.
Yes, that's gotta be like around 7.
You think that late?
Yeah, okay. I think so. Because like, so say all of 1 is decision making and wedding.
Yeah.
2 is another wedding or so.
Getting our feet under us.
That's fine. 3, I think should be maybe like, it doesn't go great, but it's enough that we persist.
Yeah. I think 4 should be the first high-profile wedding we do.
Yeah.
As far as high-profile goes. A city official or like a local celebrity or something.
Yeah, I don't know if a politician would do that just yet, unless it's like a big deal.
Election year, and they're running for like council.
No, it's true. But I'm saying, it's not that I can't see it. It's just they would need to be a bigger deal. Sure. I could see like say a TikTok star trying to do it as like a thing. So we could probably get this down to here.
We'll do a TikTok star on one half of the show, and then like an influencer on the second half, and just have it be a themed episode. Yeah,
and then maybe like. The real bad one could be the athlete, since we're not good at sports.
It's wildflower season, so I'm going to be out in the field for the first 7 hours of the day, taking pictures. I need pictures of everybody, and we're like, we don't provide photography services.
I mean, we have phones.
You have a phone, don't you?
Yes.
Well, don't you normally, like, I don't know, something like that.
Look, we have filters, we have XX Pro, we got Valencia, so we'll make the pictures look nice.
Yeah, I like the idea that the athlete one is the one that goes disastrously wrong.
Yeah. So there's like a professional athlete of some regard.
Yeah.
And yeah, just due to our lack of knowledge, we make a bunch of just jokes that just do not work.
Yeah.
Because who knows sports?
I try. I watched a basketball game the other night because there were people over.
Yeah.
It's like the Nuggets versus like... Oh, the Lakers, because...
Los Angeles?
Yeah. Who's the guy from the Lakers?
Shaq.
No, the other one.
Kobe Bryant.
No, the other one.
Coach Steve?
Coach Steve was playing. I don't know. Like I said, we're not sports people.
You're not watching the game.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm using this as an example.
Oh, okay.
Of how disastrous this event would go.
Yeah.
Cool. Do we need episode 7 to be the one it goes really bad on? Because then what would happen in 8 to convince us to keep doing it? You know what I mean?
Maybe 8 starts off with 1 and then ends with Cheeseman coming back.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
Because, like, wait, do you think the athlete should be at 8?
No, I think it should be earlier.
Oh. Like
I think it could be the first half of 5. And then the end of 5
second half
is us being kind of
successful?
down about the negative response, and then the end of the episode we get like, hey, everybody seemed to really enjoy it, blah 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 blah. Also, did you hear that guy from the sports team got in a car crash? How weird is that? And we're just like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Okay, so then you think that 6 and 7 should be good ones then?
I think they should at least be. I mean, they can be kind of whatever, but I think the disastrous one should be earlier than 7, so we can come back up.
I like a podcaster being in here.
Yeah, definitely
makes
not
sense.
Joe Rogan.
No.
Someone who's like Joe Rogan.
Not that big. He's too big.
LeBron James, that's who I meant.
He's a Laker?
I think.
I thought he was a Clevelander.
He was, and then he left, and Cleveland hates him now.
But I thought that he came back and now Cleveland loves him again. And he
was definitely not wearing a Cleveland jersey.
Is he a Miami person?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Does Mark know?
Yeah, he's saying he reminded me it was LeBron James.
Oh, it is LeBron. LeBron is a Laker. Are you reading?
You can marry the Joker. That's the nickname of the foreign player who is the star in the Nuggets. I believe his last name is Jokic. He's from Serbia, I think. I know that much.
Jokic the Joker?
Jokic, with like that little... I think it's got the apostrophe under the C, like they do sometimes in Eastern Europe.
An under the sea apostrophe?
Yeah. Under the sea.
Nice.
Apostrophe.
All right.
All right. Oh, man.
Wait, do we have... Okay, I also think that... So we have our staff. That's fine.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that we're doing multiple things while doing the weddings. I think that's also cool.
Yeah, he's a Laker now, but he used to play for Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I was... let's just say I was right.
Yeah, sure. I don't care. I think this is okay, so 5 is athlete slash...
The good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the good one? Is it a standard wedding?
I think it's just a standard wedding.
Cool.
So, like, we don't really pay a lot of attention to it because it, like... So far we have, like, a podcaster that's doing pretty well. We have a TikToker doing pretty well. We have a sports one that goes bad.
What if it seems like the second one on 5 is going bad? Like, the bride was crying or something.
Yeah.
And then... I don't know, we misinterpret certain things happening as them reacting negatively to us, and so we're about to call it in, and then they come up and they tip us really well, and they're like, hey, that was the best wedding we've ever had. We have, like, 4 kids, and that is by far and away the best wedding. Don't tell them we said that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, okay, and then...
And now we're up.
Yeah.
And then we have another very good one at 6.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
we are on it, and 6. Yeah, 6 is a catharsis episode.
Yep.
It's
And
nice.
7 is...
I think 6 focuses, while the wedding goes really good, I say something goes badly in the character's personal life.
I like that. So we'll say good for business. Bad for personal. But if there's 2 weddings per episode, this is going to be a good one and a good one.
Yes.
And this one is a
Bad one, good one.
bad one, good one. TikTok is going to be like a good one and a good one, but weird.
Yeah.
What else can go to TikTok one?
So, what are we dealing with in a TikTok wedding? Vanity?
I guess the politician should be down here.
Yeah, I think so. 'Cause it makes sense at the end because then we're getting clout.
Yeah.
I think TikTok's big thing, they're very vain. They're very shallow. So do we do like it's non-religious but is a very spiritual one? Flower crowns, incense, could be deadheads,
Sure. And
Right.
like maybe we're telling good jokes, but people just don't get them.
white people dreads.
They're too nice.
They're too blazed.
White people dreads. Sure. So this is What'd you say here?
Uh,
Wild
Deadhead.
Deadhead.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
They're huge fans of the Walking Dead. The Grateful Dead.
Both.
Both.
It's a zombie themed Grateful Dead.
It's just
Ugh.
it's not a bad one. It's not a good one. It's just weird.
Just weird, yeah. They're both weird. And this
have a
one is
Jerry
weird
Garcia
because like
cake.
this, and then so it's a weed cake. And then this one, it's weird because they're asking us to do these dances. It's like, hey, instead of doing jokes, can you just do these couple dances? We're like, what?
And the joke is that one of us is like comically uncoordinated.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that one out. That's probably me.
What if one of them they ask us to make jokes about their pets, and when their pets don't react positively?
Oh, I did a pet wedding.
Sounds like
that
the prequel to Pet Cemetery.
So it is a politician versus pet wedding.
Yeah.
I really like pet wedding. It's like, wait, you want us to roast animals?
It's gonna be the name of my electropop.
It's like, you guys are popping off. You have so many Instagram followers, blah blah. We just need this. I'm like, you want us to make fun of dogs? Two dogs?
We have 1.25 million Instagram followers, and we'll plug you on one post a week for the next 2 months.
Yeah, cool. I hate
and we're
dogs.
like, and
You got
also
it.
you can sign the check right here.
Yeah.
We don't accept exposure.
Oh, I like that.
We'll have a little bit in the TikTok episode about them trying to pay us with exposure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, I have over 10,000 followers, and you don't know how many of them are going to want your wedding. You're like, you're right, I don't know, so I need to be able to pay my rent, please.
Yeah. How about for the actor one? They're like low-level indie film actors that are doing this for a scene, and they stop us midway, like, hey, cut.
They're not even doing it for a scene. They just keep interrupting us with like,
Cut. Would you mind doing that again? I'm sorry.
what do you mean cut? The only person here filming is your mom.
You don't know your mom joke?
No.
So I think that, all right, where are we
Actor
at?
can be early.
Yeah, no, it should be pretty early. We have 2 here.
We don't have any for 8.
8, I think.
Actor could be 8 and it goes badly, but we need a producer.
That's not bad.
Grateful Dead meets Jimmy Buffett theme.
Ew.
Mark,
Margarita Deadheads?
It's awful.
Yeah, that is pretty bad.
Cheeseburger and bear.
It's just parrot skeletons smoking joints.
It's that little like stuffed bear drinking a margarita.
Oh, that's cool.
Or
Yeah.
the deadhead skull, but it turns into a margarita glass partway up.
It's the 4 deadhead bears, but one is a parrot. All right, so
I think we've got a pretty good layout as to what each episode is themed around.
I think we still need 2 weddings for every episode.
Yeah.
And then we also need to think about the underlying storyline.
Yes.
So I don't know if we need a second wedding for this one.
I think it's probably okay to have that be a big deal and be the whole episode.
What if maybe Cheeseman asked us to do like a divorce party? Is there like a divorce ceremony? I guess
It's like a bachelor party, but a divorcee party.
Yeah, I was thinking like a reverse wedding,
I'm fine with that.
but I don't know if his wife would show up for that.
Well, no, I assumed it would be for him. Oh no! What if she does and it's
Yeah.
just
It's like,
really
wait,
weird?
you 2 are coming back together and you want to divorce? So that's like maybe his idea.
What do you mean, like it's like an anniversary? No, we're getting divorced.
Yeah.
But you want us to
Officially.
ordain? I mean, you guys were kind of there from the start. We wanted you to sign the divorce papers for us.
Just makes sense. You guys are a big deal now. Both of us want to let people know that we're back on the market.
Steve, yes, we're gonna charge you full price.
I mean,
and I want you to
literally
know that this
full
is
price.
weird.
Aggressively weird. We're in. No dogs.
No dogs. That pet wedding.
No dogs. No dogs allowed.
Yeah. The pet wedding goes horribly.
Yeah. So we'll just keep up this divorce thing for a second. All right, this one has 2. This one is good for business. Okay, so this is more of a plot-driven episode. We did say that it has 2 good ones. We have to come back to that. This one is the sports one versus the good one, which gets very high praise, which I like. That's gonna be a very touching episode.
Yeah, that's gonna be kind of the heart episode.
High praise. 4 is the very weird episode. 3 is
Podcaster and
let's see. I wonder what are some of the other groups of people that would get married.
farm wedding.
A farm wedding?
In a barn.
Barn farms?
Yep, barn wedding.
How about a hot air balloon wedding?
It's not bad.
It seems like a very small audience, though.
It would.
What are some?
I feel like that would be like a pre-wedding thing for the wedding party. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What about like a Star Wars themed wedding?
A themed wedding. Let's
Yeah.
make it. What's a Battlestar Galactica?
Well, I was
themed
trying to
wedding?
think. So like, if we're in like April or May, so
Yeah.
if this is May or whatever, that's Star Wars time.
Sure.
But then
I'm trying to think of something that is weirder than Star Wars to make
Oh.
a themed wedding around, like Star
V.
Wars wedding. The lizard people.
yeah.
Show? Yeah.
So a V themed party,
We're just big fans of the remake from 2014.
and for some reason we just think they like the number 5. Like this is just a 5.
We show up
themed-
in like Roman Legionnaire outfits because we think it's like a Roman.
We thought it was a Roman numeral show. All right, so I like that because that goes with the podcast thing.
Yeah.
So themed, and I guess we're gonna stick with V for a second.
We'll put it down.
People come with like half lizard faces.
Yeah. Scaled face paint.
I don't know if anyone even knows what that show is, but whatever. What if it's Deadpool themed? Everyone's Deadpool,
It's just the worst.
and then we're trying to make fun of Deadpool.
It's the most intolerable wedding I've ever
Ugh.
been to. Everybody's acting goofy.
Oh, everyone is just trying to break the fourth wall. All right, I like that better.
We can't get a word in because everybody tries to interrupt with their own like riffs, and we're just like. Eventually, like Harrison comes back with like a bullhorn.
Yeah. Guys, I can't friggin' take all these Deadpools. All right, so storyline A, we should probably get into these here.
Yeah.
All right, is we're gonna say podcast.
The Mark is suggesting a beach wedding. The only issue with a beach wedding is
Ooh, we're in Colorado. We could have a lakeside wedding.
we could. That would
We
be
have
lovely.
we have a mountaintop wedding,
I was thinking about a mountain wedding.
and just like we're out of breath.
It's at the top of a 14er.
Yeah, it's an altitude wedding.
Yeah. Where's everybody else? They ducked out.
Do you want to describe what a 14 is there for people?
So, for those who don't know what a 14er is, that is the general term for a mountain which peak hits above the 14,000 feet line. That's above the tree line. That tends to be let's see, from personal experience, took about 6.5 hours to get up to one of the smaller 14ers.
Yep.
They are generally seen for people who enjoy outdoor activity as like a badge, a little bit like, I climbed a 14er.
Yeah.
I climbed all the 14ers, which I've met people who have, and they tend to be universally strange.
Yeah, they have good calves though.
They do.
Yeah, when we moved to Colorado, the first thing people said was, "Have you done a 14er yet?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "What are you talking
It took
about?"
me 3 years.
Yeah, I haven't done it.
It's fun. If you like hiking, and you like hiking one place for 6 hours at a time, fun.
Okay, so plot A, we're going to say is that our podcasts are failing,
Yeah.
and then we're going to switch to doing roast weddings.
Yeah.
What do you think is a good B plot?
So this is kind of where we can talk a little bit about that barrier between fictional and real life stuff, and how permeable you want that to be. Because I can think of personal issues that I'm dealing with in my real life that I could fictionalize for a show like this that I don't want to.
Fair.
And I can also think of issues that I would put my fictional self through. I don't know yet.
Okay,
What are you thinking?
what do you think is... What are some things that we're looking for in this plot line to push that could also roughly end around here?
I mean, part of me is thinking about the resonance between we are doing all of these weddings and like you're married and I'm single. So there's a little bit of that there where it's like I don't know how much romance to introduce in this.
So maybe you've met someone?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
With a romantic interest?
Potentially.
I was kind of thinking about throwing some of my real world into it.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking something along the lines of like, because I have this problem with my back and a lawsuit and something, I think that is something that can give us a timeline or can kind of play around with some stuff. Like, let's just
Yeah.
say that there is a lawsuit involved. Then that would know that we have money coming in or
Yeah.
something. So I didn't have one in mind.
Sure.
But I definitely think that this needs a second, somehow
Yeah.
pivotal. But I do like we could go with both.
Sure. Yeah, we can do both.
I don't think that
I
both,
figured each of us would have a subplot behind the fact that we are trying to do this wedding, and then we're each dealing with something in our
Now,
character's personal life.
is your character Dylan? Is that how you say it?
I assume so.
Okay, that's fair.
I assume. That's how people have been saying it at me. I never correct them.
That's true. One person calls you Dylan, though.
Yeah. Hey, 5 best rappers in the world.
Do you think that with this stuff here, maybe you're with Mrs. Cheeseman?
Oh,
Is that too far?
no.
All right.
That,
So we're gonna say relationship.
historically, there's a little bit of synchronicity on that from a different time in my life.
Uh-oh.
No, it's not an issue. It's just
Yeah.
funny to hit on that.
I mean, I think that's cool, and if it happens around
Yeah.
here, that could be something and be very awkward for this thing
Yeah.
as well. So, and then I think that if we have something that is like health related, that could
Yeah.
change anything dynamically.
That, that introduces a little bit of, like, actual drama
Yeah.
into, like, how's it going to go.
Yeah, because some days, as you know, I can't walk.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that could be something interesting to be like, hey, we need this, something.
It is 3:30. Do you want to give the people at home a refresher as to what we're doing?
Yes, hello. We are Some Nobodies. My name is Zach.
I'm Dylan.
And what you're watching right now, what you just tuned into, or what you've been watching for quite a while, is Talking UpStream. And it's a show where Dylan and I, and the help of this currently and luckily filled in whiteboard,
Yeah.
we try to do what Dylan calls like a writer's room style show, which is we take a stupid idea. Usually my ideas are pretty stupid. And then Dylan also brings an idea to the table, and we worked one idea all the way down to what we call a pitchable idea, which is taking something that is clever, maybe, and then working it down through processes. Dylan, if you don't know, is a degree-having novelist, and I am a stand-up comedian, so together we kind of just write a bunch of stories.
Wow.
And this is our process of how we formulate something. If you listen to our podcasts, such as Silicon Angels, or the podcast show, or even our current one where we review Lovecraft Country, we like making up stories. We like creating content. And the stories that we're doing, hopefully will get us to a streaming service, which is why we call it
Yeah.
Talking UpStream.
This is an abridged version of what Zach and I normally do when we brainstorm something. Usually these meetings are either much longer over a span of time or split up across the week. So what we're doing here is trying to condense that creative process into a 90-minute block, so we can at least give an example of like what development looks like.
Yeah, and this is just how we do it.
Yeah.
Currently, we're going through our version of a reality-style show, similar to Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
We're calling it Roast Weddings currently. The story revolves around us, mildly successful podcasters. In this world, our podcasts are not doing well at all. And we switch over to our real-life other things, which is ordained ministers, that we marry people for money. And we've kind of filled this out into an 8-episode season kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's looking pretty good so far.
Yeah.
And what we're working on right now is trying to figure out what the B storyline. If you watch shows, you can always tell. Well, for me, the shows I like the most are the ones that have multiple storylines throughout. You have certain shows like a Smallville or Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where they're almost like a Monster a Week style
Yeah.
show, where they present you a problem, and then through the next 30 minutes of the show, they finish that problem. And it's the kind of show where you don't really need to rewatch. Some shows have the underlying storyline where if you miss one in the middle, you kind of don't know what's going on. We kind of blend all those things together. A lot of shows do that, where they have an A, a B, and a C storyline, where the A one is mostly the one of the week where you don't really need to know what's happening. The B one is the one where it's kind of throughout the season, things are starting to shape up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that we're kind of sticking with currently the one where Dylan's character in the show is
Looking for someone.
probably in some sort of relationship struggle,
Yeah.
either looking for or coming across one. Who knows? And like Dylan was saying earlier, sometimes when you're trying to create a show, it is easy to put in real world things. You just have to be very careful with it because there are ramifications of talking about real stuff in a fake world. And so the other plot that we're going to throw into it is my, excuse me, my real world issue that I've been dealing with, which is back/leg problems because of a car accident. Because in real world, that actually has prevented me from doing a lot of things. We have a lot of shows going on, and we've had to end some of the shows or push starting some of the shows because of health reasons. So if anybody out there is dealing with back or leg pains, I sympathize with you. But just try to keep writing if you can, if you're writers. Where do you think we should go next with this?
I think we should try to map out where these subplots take us across the 8 episodes.
Okay, so if we're doing a relationship-wise...
Sure.
Now, say that you're looking for a relationship. This is going to be pretty painful on you, or at least weird on you.
Right, it's going to be weird.
But you're also going to be meeting a lot of people.
Right.
Which is cool.
Yeah. So I've been watching Man Seeking Woman on Hulu, which is the Jay Baruchel show.
Yeah.
About kind of this, where it's a sketch show, kind of, where each show, the sketch is a different person he's with.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining it a little bit more like that, maybe in the first half at least, where there's a lot of stops and starts.
I like that.
And then maybe some recurring people start reappearing in the second half. And then it could be not the late Miss Cheeseman, because she's not dead.
No, almost former Miss Cheeseman.
Nee Cheeseman.
Not Nye Cheeseman?
Isn't it NEE to denote their former last name?
Oh, I don't think I know that.
Okay.
Well, I know that I don't know that.
It could be. That would mean that we all knew each other beforehand. That's fine.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It doesn't have to end with us getting together either. It could end with a real awkward,
Yeah, like you guys could break up here.
Not even. I assumed it would be like that kind of like, will they, won't they, and then ultimately.
No.
Probably not, because if it starts in like a rocky way, I think it would end in a rocky way, at least in fiction. So I think at that point it's like either, I think the catharsis for my character would be like accepting that it's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably okay.
Accepting that the Cheeseman?
Yeah.
Or relationship?
The Cheeseman thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go from looking for a relationship to finding...
To thinking it's going to be with Steven's ex.
Yeah.
To it not being, and me being
What's her name?
I'm trying to think of a name of anyone I don't know.
Yeah. Ava Cheeseman?
Ava, sure.
Ew.
I knew someone, yeah, I knew a girl in high school named Ava.
Chelsea Cheeseman?
Gross. That's why she did not take his last name. Yeah, Chelsea, is that with an A or an EY?
That's EA.
Okay.
I'll write it over here better. Chelsea Swift.
Sure.
Chelsea Sparks.
Chelsea Swift, when we bond over Jonathan Swift's writings.
I like it.
Yeah. Except those hearts wind up being not real. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So we have a relationship-ish storyline underplot going on.
Funny story, Mark. I knew a girl in high school named April, and she was Ava's older sister.
Oh.
They named all 5 of their kids in alphabetical A names.
What was some others? Avery?
Anna, Aaron, and Andrew? Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were all girls for some reason.
No.
Okay. Let's say that we wanted these weddings to be successful. We wanted that business to be successful. What would be a vision for that business that we're looking for until Cheeseman comes back? Because we're hoping it's successful. Now, are we hoping it is successful so we make money to do podcasting again?
I think so. I don't think the message of the show should be get discouraged and quit because something goes wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking more like so in real life we're trying to make a movie too.
Yeah.
So could that be the goal? Like they were only doing this now to make money
to fund other projects.
Yeah,
sure.
Or to get back into podcasting.
Yeah. What about your health thing? What do you want your character's deal to be?
Well, I was thinking that let's just say that there is a lawsuit with a car accident or something
Sure.
that could be a monetary gain.
Yeah.
It could be some sort of crux.
Yeah.
So I was leaving it up there so that if we needed plot points,
A dramatic like
Something.
reveal or something.
yeah, like
Sure.
say like right when things are going good, my health declines.
Yeah.
You know, so
In
that-
like in one of the episodes, it looks like I might have to do it by myself because you just can't walk.
yeah, and that could be like the politician one, which is like high profile for
Oh,
us.
yeah.
So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So then health things come back up here. And that's like, and things are going good for us.
Yeah.
Like, it's good,
Yeah.
good. And then like, I need to do this.
Yeah.
And you're like, bro, don't. And I'm like, I need to. Like, our business needs this.
Don't sit up.
Yeah.
Don't get up.
Jag me.
Prop me up against the altar.
God, I'll do it. So yeah, so maybe like one of these earlier on, I could just have not shown up
Yeah.
because of whatever, and that
Yeah.
could be why it dipped. I mean, although you are the funny one, I think it would be a little bit harder without me.
I'm with preparation.
True.
I'm only funny on the spot when you're there to give me ammunition to fire.
All right. Do we have enough weddings for all these?
I think we planned out every wedding we needed. Yeah.
All right. And then, what else do you think do we need to work on here? Matrimony. I'm liking it less.
Do we? Oh yeah, no. Do we want? Do we want to kind of theorize out some of the crew?
Sure.
I like the idea that one of them is like musically talented and wants to do music for the weddings, but we're not hiring out for musicians. Like normally normally they seek them out, something like that.
Yep. Do you want to have like each of them having their own talents, like similar to that? Like one is a very good chef. You know, let me just cook the stuff. And they go, no, they have their own food.
We could, yeah.
And he's constantly bringing his own food.
Yeah.
You know, what are the sliders?
What is this? What do you mean? Why is this on the table? Well, it's part of the dinner.
Yeah.
It's part of the. You know, they said they were doing tapas, so you know we have some. It's tapas. Tapas does not include pulled pork sliders.
This is a full-on cheeseburger.
What do you? No, it can. Tapas means small plates. You can get a slider on a small plate, but it's not on the menu. Where did this come from?
Food truck.
I got it. Got it from where? My kitchen. You make this at home and bring it? If I give you the answer I want to say, I would be a liar.
Or he just drives a food truck there. It's like, you can't serve your food here.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
no, that's
He
just,
has a food truck.
that's my vehicle.
He has a food truck and he keeps bringing it to the weddings.
Yeah.
That's
like,
pretty good.
Are you serving food? No. I'm a DJ.
It's a parking lot. I'm parked.
Hey, buddy. We all can't afford multiple cars. Okay,
Starts
so-
playing the horn really loud.
So we're going to say this person's name is Layla.
Yes.
And Layla is very good at music.
Yes.
It is no one's favorite style of music.
No, but
of that style, she's great.
She's cross-disciplinary in that she can cross over.
But we do like her so much that we're constantly asking if she can perform.
Yeah.
Even though they have their own people, can she just perform one
She is
song?
overqualified for what people are willing to pay her.
And then the foodie is obviously Garrison. Oh wait, that actually works in two ways, but you know what I meant.
How? Garrison?
Don't we know somebody named actual Garrison?
Garrison Keeler. I don't like him.
Oh, okay, maybe not. No,
I don't know. I don't think I know Garrison.
Oh, cool. All right, good.
I know Garrett.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Never mind. All right, and then who's the next crew member?
I say we have someone who is weird.
Just straight weird.
His name is Drew. I'm just gonna go for it. He doesn't. I don't think he cares. He is an artisan in that he makes. He's a carpenter. No, what's something that's not a leather worker?
Oh, leather.
Sure.
If we're going to close to what he does.
Yeah. He's a leather worker, and he he holds some very strange viewpoints on the world.
Including marriages.
Yeah, and he's very outspoken about them.
And golf.
But nobody can tell if he's serious or not.
Yeah.
But everybody's like,
what's up with your guy who's always in the curtains?
he keeps talking about how when the lights go out, what we're going to do. Is there something wrong with the power? No, he's speaking on like a broader... he's talking about a broader scale.
He'll get to his panic room soon, don't worry about that. It's like, that guy ever talking about how leather curtains are better for heat?
Drew the photographer is what Mark says.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah, we do need a photographer.
Yeah.
Okay, so photographer... Dude, he'd be such a good photographer, too.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other things at weddings? I guess a bartender? Maybe?
Usually I think that's provided by the venue.
Okay, so what if we have a bartender who is a voice actor who is constantly doing different voices while serving drinks?
But because the bartender is provided by the venue, they have to actually bust the drinks. Like, they have to deliver them, and they go, I can't believe they made it like that. Like, they're like criticizing the bartender's technique.
They're a mixologist.
Yes. They've got the culinary tattoos and the shaved sides of the head and the big beard with a curly...
Oh, cool. All right, this person's name is going to be Pat. With 2 T's.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pat is the...
Patsy Cline.
Patsy Cline. If you know us, that's funny. So he's the bartender that has a lot of voices. He does a very good Jason Statham impression. He does a pretty good Christopher Walken impression. And
I'm gonna Photoshop that later.
Yeah.
Patsy Cline.
Patsy Cline. And all these people also have, I guess it's very similar to Party Down. They just handle their headshots too.
Yeah. They're all trying to advance their own craft. Layla is trying to be like, people are like, oh, you have such a lovely voice. And he goes, I offer vocal lessons. Here's the card. You just mow if you need to.
Here's a USB of my first 3 CDs.
This is the master thesis.
I do like the idea of people handing out USBs. I think that's so funny.
Garrison is trying to
vegan, only vegan
food truck, and nobody. We're like, man, if we get a vegan wedding, we'll get you, but like nobody wants a vegan wedding right now.
Yeah,
or ever.
But it's like very weird themed vegan food too. It's like Star Wars themed vegan food.
Oh, yeah, let's make it more obscure than Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
It's,
like Rick and Morty.
It's Babylon 5 vegan food.
Yeah, it's funny. It was like, what is it? Like
Stargate.
Listen,
it's Stargate vegan food.
Yeah, it's kind of like octopuses, but it's vegan. I like Drew being a photographer.
Drew's just off-putting.
Yeah. And he's like,
in the show as well.
And he's always giving people just weird tidbits of why like weddings are a farce.
Yeah.
Like the origins of things.
Legally it was a way to designate someone as your property.
In the 1300s, a king would have to have sex with your wife.
It's called prima nocta. They did it in Braveheart.
I'll page you a link.
And then Pat is just aggressive about believing that he knows what's best.
He thinks that every single wedding he's about to get picked up.
Do we want each of them to have like a little subplot that we can hint at every once in a while? It doesn't necessarily have any progress, but it's just something that we can watch them grow on.
Sure.
I feel like out of all of those, I feel like Layla's professional career is probably the one to do.
Think she gets picked up?
I think she has to make a decision as to what she winds up spending most of her time on.
So her career goes up.
Yeah. Again, this is about bringing in real life stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to pick any...
I don't know that I want to either.
Yeah. We can definitely work on that. Because I
like the idea that Drew's working on his bunker. Yeah. He just makes references to like, yeah, when I go off the grid, now I had a meeting with a contractor. He said that much concrete is going to be quite a hefty amount.
Yeah, I like that. He only spits out 2 facts: how much things cost for a bunker, and why weddings are awful, while taking very beautiful photos.
Yes.
What do you think Pat's backstory should be?
We've got career covered. We've got kind of weird stuff getting kind of, I guess, weird societal stuff covered.
What if one of them has like I like the idea of like a dad who has a baby
Okay.
that is like always showing the pictures of this baby to people.
Okay. He has
Yeah.
he has like a new family.
But it's just like he's just a doting father.
Yeah. All
And
right.
everyone's like, yeah, get it.
But when he's not talking to his family, he is
so raunchy,
curmudgeon,
but and just filthy. He's
rude,
filthy.
He is filthy and
Yep.
not mean, but very, very blunt.
Yeah, and if you don't want to look at pictures of the kids, he's gonna cuss you out.
He's got no time for you.
That's it. I like
All
that.
right. Yeah.
I guess I could either one. That's fine.
Let's do Garrison. No,
Um,
let's do Pat. It fits with his like
Yeah.
going around criticizing the bartenders.
So he is kid friendly, which is not true.
Mark is right. He is talking about weddings as being nothing but a contract and having nothing to do with love.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He sounds like Drew.
I'm a millennial, Mark. I know all about that.
What if like Garrison has like a food blog that
Okay.
he's trying to promote,
Okay.
or like he's trying to promote something, or I guess his food truck.
Yeah. We could have his resonate with one of the main characters. He either has a relationship or a health thing that's also kind of rotating around him.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, considering we combine two names, he could just be like a pickup artist.
Well, I know which one of the two you're talking about. I love that. He's a pickup artist.
And he's like, this lifestyle of mine.
But he's only really practiced pick people. He's not really going to pick up people.
Like,
It always works.
it's one of those ball pits where it looks like there's a lot in there, but when you really take out all the empty space, there's not a lot of substance.
Yeah.
Hey.
What do you think about that idea? Like, it always works, and then he has to talk his way out of it.
That's pretty good.
Like he just almost in like an acting style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's constantly trying to pick up women at these weddings, and it always works, and
Yeah.
it never works
He's
well.
like, no, I didn't mean that. Cool.
I think
What else?
This is pretty well thought out. I think.
Yeah, I think we got it.
So, I've been thinking about what scene to do next week,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's one thing. Cool.
and I'm thinking the scene from the first episode where we do our first roast unintentionally, and how I'm thinking we do the script is that I script parts out, and then we do a bullet point script for you and I, and we riff a little bit.
Oh, okay, cool. So we'll do the scene up here. So this is going to be a accidental roast. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Which wedding is this? Because this isn't the Cheeseman.
No.
This is throwing caution to the wind.
Wait. Cheeseman wedding is in the first episode?
Yeah.
That makes my thing with his wife
Yeah.
way worse. Okay.
It
I had
makes it
assumed they
more-
were already together.
No, that's why he quits.
Okay.
And that's why no one sees it coming.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna do. So your one is caution to the wind. So this is our equipment has just broken.
Yeah.
We gotten bad reviews on our podcast. We realized that we cannot do this anymore, and we're angry. And all this happened an hour before this next wedding. And then the scene that you're going to write is
I think it's going to be you and I trying to deliver a standard
at the roast?
service, and then we either we're not too comfortable, but we're both kind of like at the point where it's like, and just apologies for anybody who can't hear us in the back. Unfortunately, we did experience equipment malfunctions, so ideally this union goes better than this wedding will. And then we kind of like, we get some chuckles in the crowd, which kind of encourages it a little bit. And so we run with it a little, and then it catches on.
cool. And we see like people holding up cameras.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, okay.
And it's like, you in the fifth row, would you mind turning from portrait to landscape?
Yeah. Look at the size of me.
How old are you? How long have you been doing this? It's 2022. What are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, does it fear?
2 years. I don't know.
Oh. I didn't know the future.
Give it time to calm down a little bit.
Oh, what's going to happen with our climate in 2 years from
I don't
now?
want to think about
Yeah,
it.
it's fine. This is an alternate universe where things are fine.
Yes. This is an alternate timeline in which
People are getting married.
Andrew Jackson was actually killed in that duel.
Oh, man. If only. If only.
How's that for a point of divergence?
Yeah. You're really going to make people angry with that one. They're like, whoa. You can't make those Jackson jokes.
Mark is asking if this gets picked up, does he get writing credits and some revenue?
Yeah, of course. For everything.
You at least get a story by credit, but if we end up writing it, the screenplay by goes to us. That's how credits work.
I don't know. I'm going to say yes.
All right.
You definitely get some kind of producer, executive producer credits on everything. Uh-oh.
It's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
All right, well, we should wrap up anyways.
I think so.
Hey, thank you guys very much. We really appreciate it. First and foremost, we want to say thank you to IBM.TV. Thank you. We appreciate it. We hope that you guys like the stories that we create here every single week. This is episode 8. That's cool, man. 8.
Yeah, I
That's
think we're doing
how
pretty
many
well.
hours? How many hours is that? That's
8 times 1.5.
8. So that'd be 4 times
12 hours.
3. 12 hours. That's 12 hours of us just making up stuff on IBM. So thank you so much.
We appreciate you watching.
Yeah. Please, if you want to see anything else that we do somebodies.com, which is the very top of this. So you can see all of our weird stuff like a podcast show, which just finished its first season. That's a one where we find very bad or just unheard.
Very weird.
Yeah, some very weird podcasts, and we review them. We have a podcast called Silicon Angels, which is a scripted / improv style futuristic true crime about a robotic shop and the people that work there. If you are watching HBO Draft, we are reviewing that. Once again, if you just go to anywhere you listen to podcasts and just type in Some Nobodies, you'll see everything that we do. If you want to help support our show and kind of help us do the stuff that we're trying to do, and hopefully you get to see us do, you can always go to patreon.com/Some Nobodies, and that would be very appreciated because we're trying to make some movies. What else you got?
I think that's it. We have some shout outs to people.
Yeah. We have Mr. Scott Curtis. So if you like comedy, you want to know some more stuff, or we're looking for a really good podcast, check out Behind the Bits.
It's a good show.
Yeah, very good show. We were on a couple times with Scott Curtis. You have Sarah Tkachuk. Found out how to say that.
Yeah, and Tanya Sheck.
Tanya Sheck.
I caught myself.
Yeah. And go to Podroom if you're looking for a new app for podcasts. Other than that, thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right.